So we're back on the boat at Coral Sea Marina, Able Point, after going back to Sydney for a couple of weeks and doing a few domestic things like moving house, visiting parents and friends, etc. We get back and the first thing that Greg wants to do is change an engine mount.
So this is a new one, new Yanmar original. So this is the port rear engine mount, and the way that we assess these engine mounts is this gap here. The engine mount sits on the mounting stringer of the engine that the engine sits on. Engine sits on here, and the rubber absorbs the vibration of the engine, stops it getting into the hull of the boat. So after a period of time, the rubber wears out and they start to collapse. So the way that we assess these is that the gap here should be more than 5 millimeters. So when this gap gets less than 5 millimeters, it's time to change the engine mounts out. So this being the port side engine mounts are actually 200 grade rubber, which means they're a bit stiffer because the propeller rotates clockwise. So that means that the counter torque of the engine wants to go counterclockwise. So these cop a little bit more stress on them compared to the starboard ones. So if Kim hands me the camera, you can see the engine mount there. That I think you can see it. Yeah, there it is. It's in a state of collapse. So that one's coming out, and the new one's going in. And you're probably asking yourself, well, when you change a wheel bearing in a trailer, you usually change both wheel bearings. That's all good for a trailer because the wheel bearings are only worth about $30 each. This little number's worth $400. So you tend to only change them one at a time when you have to. I've already changed the starboard side some time ago, and they're still in spec, so there's no problem with that. So yeah, to change 4 of them at once, it's going to cost you about $1,600, and it'll take quite some time. So I've got some lifting gear here, so this has got to go under the gearbox, like so. This is a 130 kilo lifting bag, so we simply pump this up and that will support the gearbox while I remove this engine mount, and that means that the shaft log won't be disturbed too much, because you don't want it twisting out of you don't want your shaft twisting out of your shaft log too much. So this will keep the engine nice and stable. It's only one engine mount. It shouldn't be too bad, but this will just ensure that the rear port side of the engine doesn't move while I'm doing this. So anyway, that's my little job this afternoon.
And I'm going to say something that sounds like I know what I'm talking about technically, but see the rubber in the engine mount, it is vulcanized onto the engine mount.
Yeah, it's a special process that they use with extreme heat and pressure of joining the rubber onto the metal. There is quite a few aftermarket engine mounts that you can get a little bit cheaper, a little bit more fiddly to put in, but I've just stuck with the standard Yanmar engine mount. So this will go for another 10 years at least, I'd say. So that's all good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And while Greg's doing that, I'm going to duck into town and do some fresh produce provisioning. And then when I get back, we are going to get our mainsail out. That's the mainsail that's got the tear in it that's been repaired, and the battens off the deck. And we're going to leave those on the wharf here at Airlie Beach at Coral Sea Marina because we have someone who's going to take it. It's for free, and they've responded to a Facebook Marketplace ad for a free sale. So that sail will be relifed onto a far sailing boat, which is fantastic. Meanwhile, we're waiting for our new sail to arrive. Just got back from provisioning to check on how the engine mount replacement is going. So, how's it going, Greg?
Good, all finished.
What, you've replaced one engine mount in about an hour and a half?
It was only one. And aligned it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Got to do a little bit of electrical cabling now.
Yep.
And yeah, it should be all good.
Well done. So once you got the old engine mount out, could you see how it had lost its integrity?
Yeah, it didn't look too bad on face value, but when you load it up with weight, it would collapse.
Okay.
So it's can be a spare if need be. But
yep.
Anyway.
Well done. I think we should celebrate with sundowners because the sun's going down. It's 5:30 p.m. on a nice Airlie Beach night at Coral Sea Marina. I think we should celebrate. Rightio, what's going on there?
This is just to supplement our solar powering system.
Okay, so these are the flexible solar panels that you bought.
I realised to be a serious liveaboard, you really need at least a kilowatt, at least a kilowatt of solar power. So I've got a portable one I'm going to connect into the system. So luckily I'll be able to connect it onto the winch end, through the hatch onto the winch end, because that's got some really heavy duty cabling which runs to the set of batteries forward, and then it runs back to the aft battery. So it'll work.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll just point out, so this is Greg's temporary workbench. It's actually doubles.
I'm trying very hard not to burn the table.
It doubles as our dining table.
Yeah.
There's our old sail waiting to be picked up at the marina berth at Coral Sea Marina, where it is a perfectly still day on Monday, the 1st of September, first day of spring.
150 by 285.
Yeah, and just flip her over.
That's,
okay. All right.
I reckon they might be the go. Well, all I can say is it's lucky we don't have to go that way.
Some little stingrays coming in with the tide. Go out with the tide and they come in with the tide. Meanwhile, Dinghy's come up the beach a bit. There's going to be a bit of drone practice here. Rightio, what have we got here?
DJI Avatar 2
In English?
drone.
Beautiful. So this was a purchase when we went back to Sydney, because we realised there's so much up here that we want to capture that we just needed to get some altitude for. So even though Greg is a drone pilot with Surf Life Saving Australia, it's still a little bit different technology because he actually has goggles that he wears with this rather than a screen. So he's just sort of relearning everything that he's already been taught. Here are the goggles.
Yeah. See that?
Drone, goggles, remote control. Good to go. Yep, yep. Let the meter on you down. Yep, keep going. Straight down. Oh, shit. Another little purchase was the active boat wheels for the dinghy, which have made all the difference. No more lifting this dinghy up and dragging it up the beach without wheels. We've now got wheels. Just looking across to the east side of Maconna Inlet, where we've anchored over there, and looking down through the channel back to Whitsunday Island. We are going to jump into potentially some water with some sharks in it. So we've got our shark bands on. I've got 2 on just to make sure. And here we go. Who's first? Take all this rock. We have left Maconna Inlet and we're on our way to Cid Harbour because there's a big southerly low that's coming through late Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday. So today's Thursday, I think it's the 4th of September. We want to be all anchored up in Cid Harbour, which is a really good all-weather anchorage. It's right on our nose. And we want to get there before the crowd gets there because all the bare boats will no doubt be told to go there, and a couple of other safe anchorages over the next couple of days, so it will be quite crowded in there. We got full sail up today, no reefs in the mainsail. There it is there, performing really well. It's down to its last week before we get a new sail, so we can rest it. The head sail is pretty much all the way out. There it is there. Looking back over towards Airlie Beach. Captain, and looking back towards Maconna Inlet where we spent last night, which was really, really calm anchorage. I think we anchored in about 8 metres of water, held really well, and it was a really nice place to stay. So, yeah, everyone's getting underway today, moving anchorages, and a lot would be heading for Cid Harbour. Probably only about less than an hour away, less than 5 nautical miles, so we'll be there pretty soon.